Welcome to Demolition Success Secrets, the podcast that's changing the game for demolition businesses everywhere. Ever wondered how a wrecking ball wielding industry can leverage digital marketing to dominate their market? Well, we've got the blueprints, strategies, expert guests, and more to show you how. Stay tuned, because we're about to blast through the barriers of your business.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to another episode of Demolition Success Secrets. We have Kevin today, and we got Daniela, our co-host. Welcome, everyone. Kevin, what's going on?
Good morning, and thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it, and I'm honored to be with your group, and I look forward to talking to you guys today.
Absolutely. Daniela, do you want to give a quick shout out? This is your first time on the podcast, our new co-host, soon to be full host. If you just want to say a quick bit, and then we'll jump in with Kevin.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. I remember my first time co-hosting, I didn't because for some reasons, but I was super excited that I sent a picture to Kevin, and then we started talking about the podcast, he wanted to be on our podcast, and here we have Kevin, very excited to, share a bit more about the demolition and, of course, on all the track and the experience that you have in the demolition industry.
Which leads us, Kevin, to how did you start, man? Most people don't come out of the womb unless they're second or third generation demo owners with demo. Where did you kind of get in the track?
Well, I'll tell you what, I started with my father's business, and that was a long time ago. My father had a glass and steel company in Denver, Colorado, and also in Arizona. And he taught us at a young, we started out with a broom. We learned I was an iron worker and a glazer before all this started. And then I came out to Chicago. A friend of mine owned a demolition company. And he said, how would you like to learn the demolition business? And I came with him. And so not only did I learn how to build structures, now I know how to bring them down. So that was about 30 years ago, and from now we formed Demolition Group of America, which when COVID hit, it stopped business development, and we had to go ahead and figure out a way to take care of our clients and still keep everything moving. So I said, why don't I start Demolition Group of America? This was in 2020, and I said, let's go ahead and put our team together of the best demolition qualified people that I know, and would cover from LA to New York. I threw it all in a pot. I went ahead and got all of our vendors together, and I formed our company. So now we have 5 employees. We also have 10 of the top demolition companies across the United States that we work with. And it's really been going really well.
Cool. Well, tell us about it. What is the behind the scenes look like? You got team members, you have great clients. It seems like you guys are growing quickly and strongly as well as quickly. What does the behind the scenes look like in terms of service offerings and things like that?
What we do is we offer leads to all of our clients, our general contractors, our private clients, and we have nationwide coverage, like I said before. And so we got demolition, we have blasting, we take care of environmental abatement, decommissioning of the plants, asset recovery, heavy civil highway. We do a lot of bridge work, heavy industrial strip outs. So we offer everything for our client, and we have an old school mentality. I still deliver donuts to all my clients every week.
Oh my God, in person?
Yeah, in person. I still go out.
Wow.
I still do that. My father taught us how to do that at a young age, and it was all of, with the Demolition Group of America, we're all about relationships. We feel not only the relationships, but friendships and partnerships. But that's what we believe in. So we've put a team together to scale all of our high clients across the country, and that's what we do. And we go after jobs that they're looking at, and we help them get in the door with the relationships that I've had for over 30 years. And it's all about our name and integrity and honesty, and that's what we build, the trust issue to get into all these jobs that they can't get into.
Amazing. Okay, now would it be fair to say like almost a relationship broker, a networking broker? What are the mechanisms?
Yeah,
I guess.
we're all consultants, and
Okay.
so we're bringing the leads in, and we broker them off to our demolition contractors. We also bring, like I said, with our vendors, we work heavy with good vendors, and
Mm.
we form these alliances and teams all across the country, and it's been working really well. And they like what we bring them, and we've been really fortunate to keep this going the last 4 years. And then, like you said, it's growing rapidly, and people like what we bring to the table.
Yeah, it's funny when you bring good stuff to the table, people want second portions and third portions, and they tell their friends and family, "Hey, come over to this table. It's really good." All right, so the mechanics of getting the leads, I'm sure people go, "All right, you know people, you have decades of experience, you understand our business. Are you guys? How does it mechanically look in terms of, let's say I'm a prospect, to you, I'm a large demo company. I'll use an example. One of our bigger clients, I do 40 million a year. I'm in the Southeast. I want deals all throughout the Southeast. I come to you guys. What does that look like?
That's a great question. What we do is we fly out to meet you in person.
Wow.
I personally will fly out to meet you in person. Then I will ask, what regions do you want to cover, and what clientele are you looking for, and give me a list of who you are trying to get on with.
Okay.
I then will go out in person. Mr. Wiley goes out in person and delivers the donuts and makes the introduction to all these people that they're trying to get on with. So
got it. Which are typically GCs, is that right?
There could be general contractors, it could be private developers,
Got
and
it.
they could say, hey Wiley, this is a list of who we're trying to get on with. Can you help us? I will personally go out there and meet them all.
Okay, very interesting. So I guess, is it B2B? Maybe there's some B2G, like business to government, but any B2C that you guys cover?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. How does that work?
We'll get in with the government. We'll get in with the city, state.
Okay.
We have those contacts that we can get into. We work, we have a veterans side too. We work with the veterans. We
Wow.
work with DBE, MBE, all that. We're part of that also.
Crazy. Okay. Now to consumers, like, because, with our end, we see stuff like houses come across, people inherit properties and things. Do you guys touch on the consumer side?
We will take care of the houses too. We'll get a client or a developer that says, Kevin, we need to knock out these houses for one of our clients. Now, let's say we've done a ton of industrial and heavy commercial for them. We will do it. We do whatever our client needs us to do. They might even have a shed. We'll do that for them. We want to make our clients happy. We want to be the Nordstrom of the industry.
It's funny, the shed, we always joke about like demolishing a mailbox. That's, for some reason, it's an inside joke. I don't know why that's such a proverbial joke that goes around.
I mean, what do gigantic stadiums, power plants? We do heavy work, but if a client says, it could be one of our biggest clients, and they could say, we have a property over here that has 3 houses on it. You know what? We're going to take those 3 houses down for our client because that's what they need. Whatever we have, whatever we have to do for our client, we do.
Okay, we'll keep this really light because I would like to include this in the podcast. But are you familiar with a company named Total Wrecking and Environmental?
Yes.
You may be or you may not be. Okay,
yes, I am.
Is that someone that you work with? Or?
Those guys are fantastic.
Okay, is that a current client or maybe a potential client?
No, it's a potential client.
Okay. So you and I have something to talk about because that's really, really funny. I have been in talks with them. Really awesome. They were referred by a really close demo insurance relationship that I have, and yeah, we've been like just trying to get on the calendar. And it's funny because you mentioned power plants, and that is something that they do. And I ironically was talking to their team. I was kind of joking. I was like,
"Go ahead." The owner's a good guy.
Yes. Yeah, they're great. They're great. I believe his wife is a partner as well.
Correct.
Shelly or Shelby.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, really funny. Just when you mentioned like decommissioning, I made in my opinion, a funny joke, but also ironically, it wasn't great. the first time he and I spoke, I said pretty much, the stuff that we bring to our clients, it can be massive, it can be smaller, it can be medium. You tell us where you want to be. I was like, it's not like every day we're getting decommissioning of power plants. And he goes, oh yeah, well, just to let you know, like we would take that on if you get it. And I was like, oh, kind of like an ironic, fall flat on your face. Out of all the things I could have said that, could come through, but frankly aren't super common. The biggest we'll see is, some sort of work on skyscrapers, typically not a full tear down, but, multiple levels could be torn. We've actually secured that for clients, stadiums, that kind of thing, warehousing, industrial. But it was funny because I mentioned the decommissioning of the power plants, and he was like, well, actually, like, that's something I wish you would have said you could help us with. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's possible, if we do the whole scope of the country. And also now with Trump, with the, obviously the election happened. I don't know the decommissioning. I don't know how bullish they'll be about decommissioning power plants right now.
It's going to be outstanding for everybody, and the infrastructure is going to be unbelievable. This whole United States with the bridges and all the old bridges, it's going to bring so much work and jobs to all of us. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to open up a lot of doors for everybody.
Oh yeah, no, it's exciting. It's cool being here in Europe. It's ironic because I love to talk to my Uber drivers when they're willing to talk, and it's so crazy how many of them say like, "Oh, you're from America. You're so lucky." Like, if the election went maybe the other way, perhaps they said, you'll be like us, and you don't want to be like us. And I'm like, oh, very interesting.
No, so, I was just there. I was just there in August and September. I was in Germany. I was in London. I was in France. And they said the same thing. They said that's exactly what they told me. And then I talked to Ben, and Ben Chambers said the same thing. He feels now that we can also work with Demolition Group of America and bring it over to Europe and help everybody in Europe too. There's no, and I think we can. I think we can. It's about forming the right groups to work together.
Bring it on. So you and I, obviously, maybe some people could say, "Oh my gosh, you guys do similar things," and it's like, well, I think we complement more than anything. So we just bought, I put this on LinkedIn today. We just acquired 2 really awesome domains. And it's funny because I know them off the top of my head, but I want to make sure I say them exactly right. All this to say, like, essentially the trip over here just released us working in the European market, which is really cool. The 2 domains, amongst other things that we're doing to kind of celebrate this, we just bought demolition.com and europeandemo.com, which are obviously really premium domains. We typically do that for our clients who are smaller and medium, where they're like, hey, how can I take over all of Florida? Well, let's go do some research and let's find out if we could acquire floridademolition.com or floridademo.com. We've essentially, lately been requested to do that for Europe, being that we're now servicing the Europe market. I guess kind of like tonight is the official start of that. So yeah, would love to talk to you on that end, because
I got some great names and some great things that we can do overseas. I would love, you and I can talk we can talk about a lot of things partnering with. For sure.
Oh yeah, and I'm not sure if maybe does Mark Anthony, not the singer, does that name ring a bell?
Yeah. Oh sure.
Okay. Have you ever gotten with him or spoken with him? I'd obviously be happy to make the intro, but him and I are very, very close. On this trip, we'll actually be, we've done podcasts together, but we'll be meeting in London to do some stuff in person, which will be cool. Is that?
Yeah, Mark Anthony would be great, and you've got to meet Ben Chambers, because you're going to be in London. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to give you his information. I want you to hook up with Ben while you're there, because he's right in your backyard.
Would love to, definitely. I'll be there the 10th through the 13th. But yeah, so this is great. How does someone, and wherever you're comfortable to mention, some people are not, how does someone compensate working with you guys? Because it sounds like the value you provide is in alignment with, I hate to say old school, but like, hand to hand, belly to belly, get the job done. What does it look like?
Yeah, it's a handshake. I'm an old school guy with a handshake, and you meet us, and then we team up with you, and we bring in all of the leads, and we get you onto the jobs that you're trying to get onto. Basically, I mean, we walk you onto the jobs. Also, we help out with operators, laborers. We also source the needs that if you need people, we can get the people too.
Okay. Yeah. Employment's a funny thing because I think maybe external people who don't know us well, they think, well, they're just leads or they're just deals and it's like, all right, well, first off, it's a big part of the pie. Like, sorry that we're bringing millions and millions and millions of dollars to our clients.
Right.
But definitely as our clients and relationships grow and scale, we see it all the time in our world where team members come through and Daniela sees this all the time in our business that people want jobs and these people are like really exceptionally qualified. Yeah, some of them have a criminal record or some of them, life has happened, but also many really, really high level people who are 40, 50, 30 years old, whatever, they have tenure and they're hungry. I just heard that from someone in Europe today. He goes, this sounds great, but I'll have no people to do the work. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you already have a team. There are people currently who fit what you need. We see it all the time, all day long. People that are qualified want to work. Daniela talks to them regularly, even though we don't hire the people.
And it's funny because like the sales people, like, we get excited about, like, I'm the only one speaking Spanish, right? So we did like a spreadsheet with the inbounds from our website, and all of them are Spanish speakers. So we got excited. Like, we have a lot of hot leads, but when I was calling them, they were like, I want to work. I do not have a demolition, but I want to work. So we were just like, okay, calm down. If this is what we get in, this is what we are going to give and deliver to the client. So we are thinking that way right now. Right. But yes, there's a lot of people, like almost 100% of the, yes.
And their quality too.
And I, like you said, I feel that we can fulfill all those needs and get those people jobs. I mean, I think now the jobs are going to open up. There's going to be so much work now. I had 20 projects on hold, and now after what happened yesterday, this is going to open up. People are like, okay, we know where we're at now. We know we have a new president. Now we can go ahead and let's go ahead and move forward. So that's what we were waiting on. And now it's going to just, the floodgates are going to open up for all of us.
Interesting. Do you care to share anything about, like, do you guys do a profit share? Or are you guys a retainer? Like, economically, because I'm thinking to my clients, I'm like, hey, how can I hook them up with Kevin and we all win? I mean, I have numerous that I can think of where I'm like, this sounds good for all of us.
What we do is that we charge a monthly fee for our service, a low fee. So it's minimal. Okay. Then we bring the leads in. They let us know what they're really going to chase. Once they're awarded that project, when they're awarded the project, we get half of the commissions and then the other half on the back end. That's how we do it.
Okay. Got it. So can you explain, let's say a project is $1 million and a margin on it is 30%. Maybe can you encapsulate what that looks like in that project?
For Demolition Group of America, our normal fee, a rate of that would be 2%. Our fee would be 2%.
Got it. And does it matter their margins, or it's irrelevant?
What we'll do is we'll negotiate with our client, because we don't want to lose the award. We want to be able to make sure they get the award and still be able to compensate us. So
got it.
If there's only so much that they can compensate, we work with them. We don't want to lose the project.
Got it. Okay, so that's approachable. It's a low monthly fee. I would assume that means thousands of dollars a month or something.
$3,000 a month.
Okay. So like really, not much when you think, a team member, like a low level team member, estimator type of job. And then you have your compensation, your real compensation, so to speak, is when you guys perform, which is beneficial for everyone. Right. Okay. Super cool.
Yeah, we have to perform. And then once we get that job and we work them all the way through, and we still stay through, once they're awarded, we still stay to help them on that job. If they say, hey, we need more people, or can you get the equipment, or can you do this? We're there for that. We just don't walk away. They might say, hey, can you bring a couple guys from here? Or we also have alliances where we can work with the demo companies to move each to have an alliance with, if say we have a company in the West region, we'll send them out if it's a big project to help them. We'll have the demolition companies partner together if need be.
Okay.
Based on a project, you could get a $20-30 million project and they need some of their equipment. We've done that before where we brought the equipment to that job to help them from another demo company.
And you make sure everything's amicable, everyone's cool.
Absolutely.
Okay. Interesting.
So
very, very interesting.
This is how I've thought outside the box for many years, and my father did it for many years, and it works. It works. You put the right team together, everybody works together. Everybody's happy together.
That's cool. That's super cool. Yeah, I love the model. Is there like maybe an annual revenue or team member limit where you're like, okay, we're only focused on companies doing $5 million a year plus?
No limits.
Interesting. So I got a theoretical one. I have a client who's really successful in junk removal. Mm-hmm. They recently started with us about 2-3 months ago, something like that. They're in Southern California. Obviously, junk removal is doing amazing. They want to do higher transactions, lower volume, so to speak, with demo, which is what we're helping them. They are not established in the demo side. We're helping them get established. Someone like you, if I made the introduction, even those guys, you feel
I would bring them in with my people and have them start doing the removal for my clients on the West Coast. Another thing too that we offer too that I like to mention is when we go in to do the decommissioning of these big plants or powerhouses or whatever, or data centers, we have a company that comes in to auction off the equipment for the owner. We want to give that money back to the owner. We want to credit the owner back so they have, and a lot of them don't know what that equipment's worth. Generators, switch gears, they don't know. So we educate the owner, say, hey, look, you have $5 million here that we can put back into your pocket. We help the owners with these gigantic projects, and that's what we do. And we have auction companies that come in to sell everything.
And Kevin, is that the owner of the project or the demolition company owner that you're helping?
That's the owner of the project.
Okay, got it.
So they're going to pay us for the demo and for the removal, but we're going to credit them back. And sometimes we even give them a scrap credit because there's a lot of scrap. We credit back to the owner so we can get the project and do the demolition. It's a win-win for the owner and a win-win for the demolition contractor.
Super cool. Okay. Any sort of ideas on, like, I hate to say like ROI or volume or something like that, but is there any sort of metrics that you guys have seen? Like for us, I'll be transparent. Like on our end, if you have a solid, typically meaning multi-million-dollar a year demo company, you're already established. We hook up. Typically, we're helping them get another $3 million or more in closed business every year. That's kind of like, I don't want to say a guarantee of sorts, but that's kind of like our standard average. If you're an exceptional company and we hook up, we can do way more. One of our clients we started with in April and they've closed $5 million, albeit I could probably say 12, but they can't take everything. they have some fulfillment bottlenecks that are kind of beyond my control. What does that look like with you guys? I know it varies, but is there any like ballpark or general wheelhouse as we're all out in the world? What could we say? Hey, Kevin could maybe pull this off. This is what they're used to doing for their clients on average.
Well, right now, for example, we're looking into a project at, $20 million, $30 million. We're looking at another project that's $60 million.
Wow.
So we have the capabilities to cover those large projects, and I have the connections to bring those people in to do that kind of work. And we have the equipment to do that kind of work too. So that's what, when people call me, they say, we have a job, Kevin. And we can go outside into Canada too. So we can we can cover work, but they say, we have a job that's and it is anywhere from $20 to $30 million. What do you have for us? And I'll give them the company that I recommend to do that job. I say, this is who we're going to use. They have the capabilities to do nuts to bolts the whole job.
Right. And you have your whole roster. You're being kind of a fiduciary saying like,
Yes.
I do represent 10, 20 companies, etc.
Yes.
However, this is my top one or my top three. Here's the reasons why.
Right.
Balls in your court.
And,
Okay.
And you're going to have a job. It could be an interior strip out. So I got a specialty company that does the interior strip out. Who do you recommend for your bridge work? This is who I recommend. These guys are number one in the world in bridges. Who's for decommissioning and power plants? I give them the best company for that job. Okay.
Now, demo company wise, obviously, I would assume those would be your clients. I would assume. Yes. I could be wrong. Okay,
clients and good friends.
Okay, got it. Does anyone? I guess because their clients are good friends, maybe amongst that journey of building the relationship, is there ever any arrogance of like, "Hey, Kevin, we don't need you," and you're like, "No, you don't, and I don't need you. However, we should get together because of X, Y, and Z." Like, have you encountered that?
Not once. Once I get off the plane and once I get into their office and shake their hand. Now this is just something I've learned from my father. You be humble, and you walk in there and you're humble. It goes so smoothly, and they know who I am. They know my name, but I like to just I'm just an old school humble guy, and once I think when you come in with that attitude and they know who you are. That's what they like. They love that, just coming in like that. That's what they like, the old school mentality. They really do.
Right. It's kind of an old school world. And that's where, we see it, where we're like, hey, how can we infuse new school with old school? That's when you have an appointment booked. They're welcoming of you. Do you guys ever encounter the non-appointment bookings where it's maybe a phone thing or what have you? And people are just kind of like, hey, we're good. Is there any resistance that you encounter?
I'll tell you a secret. And you guys will like this a lot. I never make an appointment. I walk right in and I bring donuts. I never make an appointment.
Interesting. Okay.
You know what? Nobody says no to donuts.
Interesting. That's fascinating. And if the owner's not there for some reason, because we all know, these owners are on their planes, they're going from site to site. Right. You'll just talk to the team. You'll get to know the estimators.
The secretary and estimators, they're all there. And I'll walk in with a box of donuts, and they say, "Hey, Wiley, sit down. We got 3 projects for you to bid." And it happens all the time. And if and the kids today, and I'm teaching them to do that. They don't do that, and it's just so easy to do. I never make an appointment ever.
That's wild. Okay, how often are you on the road?
Every day.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, I was gonna say you must have a lot of frequent flyer miles. Do you travel in RV or are you?
The nice thing about I'm in Chicago, so Chicago is the hub for the United States, right? So everything starts from Chicago and branches out. So all my guys are here. So I go out to lunch with them. I drop off donuts. They're all right downtown Chicago. So we're in the second biggest city in the United States. Everybody's here.
Okay. Very interesting.
It works out. Where are you located at?
I'm located in Florida, and we have a lot of good people there. Also, I was kind of raised in Atlanta. A lot of good people there. It's funny because we have a ton of people. It's just very interesting. So you don't make the appointment. You stop in. They know you. You bring treats. You're humble. That's amazing. I will give you, not that you need the tip, obviously the donuts work well. We have this really cool relationship with a company called Fat and Weird Cookies. They're funky from the packaging to the name to the style of cookies. They're like big and they're stuffed. Not saying that donuts won't do the trick.
Well, just to let you know, I drop off crumble cookies too. Do you hear crumble cookies?
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a problem with crumble cookies because they have new cookies every Monday. So I do drop off the crumble cookies.
That's awesome. Yeah. Anything to stand out. I mean, we even have that when we'll onboard new clients. We'll send them some really cool, unique stuff that they want to keep on their desk, not because it says our name. It just says their name. It's not our brand at all. But you got to stick out.
You want to know what the number one thing is in all the years of my experience? The number one thing, what do you think the number one thing is to drop off to your clients that they see every day? What would you guys think it would be?
Daniela, why don't you go first?
The best marketing tool is what?
I would say that you care and that you pick up the phone.
No, sticky notes. You give your logo sticky notes, because you know what?
Okay.
They put it on your computer. They look at you every day. That sticky note is on there every day.
That's
and
cool.
our logo, our DGA logo, they look at every day. So who do you think they call every day?
Yeah, interesting.
So you leave the donuts with a sticky note.
Donuts, sticky notes, pens, swag. They all have that. But the sticky notes they put on their computer every day, and they look at our logo every day.
I could actually grab this one because I'm here at the conference. Give me one sec.
That's amazing. Yes.
Right. All right. So for our drinkers, I don't know if it's going to show up.
I love it.
Right here, and it's just kind of a funky koozie. It's not one of those cheapo little junk koozies.
I love that. Is that cork? That's cork.
Well, yeah, it's a cork. I guess it actually feels like cork and it looks like cork.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Pretty cool. We do weird stuff to stick out and, like you said, kind of stick in people's minds. But yeah, I guess I'll do more drop-ins. I really, people know us. That is fascinating. You just drop in, you give the goodies, and I guess what are the first few things you say? Hey, I'm here. Kevin's here.
I say good morning, and I here are your donuts. And is there anybody? Can I speak to some of your estimators today? And they come right over.
Okay.
And they're so happy because they have donuts in the morning or cookies or whatever it might be. Nobody does that anymore. We got to get back to that. We got to get back to doing that. My dad's nickname was the Donut Man.
Oh man,
he was the owner of the company, and everybody go, where you go? He goes, I'm going to see all my clients to drop out. He did it every week. You know how much clients after 30 years of business he owned. It was unbelievable. They only want to see my dad. That's how it is now. And I teach my kids the same thing. I have 3 kids. I teach them all the same thing. Go see people, drop off the donuts, shake their hand, let them know who you are. Emails are great. Nobody looks at them. Text messages. You got to go in person and see people and meet them eye to eye and face to face.
Yeah, with donuts and sticky notes.
yeah, that's it.
That's the secret, guys. No, that's awesome. Love it. I think what you're doing is awesome. The model is really cool. It seems, you got it you're scratching your own itch, right? Which is usually the best thing, as long as that itch is relevant to a lot of people, which it is for you. How about, I know you got to have clients outside of your backyard. So how do you handle, that's an assumption. How do you handle the people in Florida, New York, California? Are you going out?
I'll fly out to New York, which I have to do next month because I'm meeting with another demolition contractor. We're looking at the Buffalo Bills Stadium and doing a demo on this Buffalo Bills Stadium. But I'm meeting with them. Yeah, just a small drop. Yeah, so I'm going to meet them. I'm going to meet all my clients in New York, and then we'll probably go to a ball game. It could be a hockey game, watch the Rangers or the Islanders. But that's what we do every time I go out there. Florida, same thing. I go to Florida, we'll go to a football game, whatever, with everybody. We'll go out to dinner. But that's what I do. And I do that in California, Midwest. I'll be in Minnesota next week. I got a gigantic meeting up in Minnesota. But that's what we do. Meet people, and we get together and we have those meetings, and we have fun. The whole thing about this industry is having fun. We work hard, but we play hard too. And that's a philosophy that I learned with my father also. He would take his clients and go to Cabo San Lucas and go deep sea fishing. That's what he did.
Wow. Was there bait donuts?
Yeah. Yeah, but marlin fishing, and that's just what, and go to Vegas, whatever it might be, whatever they wanted to do, he took care of them, and we formed all those alliances and all those relationships, and I've learned from the best, and my father was the best in the business, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, and now I want to help as many people as I can before my legacy is over. I want to pass it down to everybody else.
Do you have, because my old boss would talk in this vein, do you have a family member that you would hand this off to? Or are they kind of like?
I have 2 sons and I have my daughter, but all 3 of them are very successful in what they do. So I don't know if they want it or not, but I definitely want to pass it on to somebody. I want to keep it going. I definitely do.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's great that they're successful. And sometimes, it's kind of like a push and pull where it's like, here's my vision, here's my dream, here's my passion. Please, like, let's make this generational. And it doesn't always translate sometimes. And as long as they're happy and successful and fulfilled in whatever they're doing, that's kind of all that matters. We would love, for them to kind of take over what we've done, but that's awesome, man. I know your time's really valuable. Do you have any last little takeaways? Obviously, we would love to get your website or, a shout out, so to speak, let people know how they can reach you. Do you maybe have, 2-3 takeaways before we wrap, and then share your info so we can have everyone get in touch with you?
I'm on LinkedIn. Everything I generate is right off of LinkedIn pretty much. The websites I have are all through all the demolition companies that I work with. So those, I could give you a whole list of them, but that won't really, not much with, with me, everything's on LinkedIn that I do. Everything's social media. But I think we need to meet in person eventually. I'd like to meet you guys and talk about how we can collaborate together on some of the other ideas that I have across the United States and working with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you have a phone number you care to share? And then we'll wrap up.
Yeah. My phone number is 847-544-9937. And then my email is kevin.wiley@dgallc.org.
Okay. No spam, guys. Don't blow them up unless it's good.
No spam.
We got everyone overseas, looking into this like, we're gonna send them some crazy pictures. We're gonna do all this stuff. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Demolition Success Secrets. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Kevin. And we will see you guys on the other side.
That's a wrap for this episode of Demolition Success Secrets. Stay tuned and subscribe for more explosive insights from our upcoming episodes. Until then, continue to blow up your demolition business and make the competition rubble in your path.